How y'all doing? Welcome you guys to Revolutionary Ministries. And as always, we are a movement of God birthed out of a necessity to please the Father. We are that experience and that encounter outside tradition, outside of religion, outside of your denominational views, outside of your feelings, outside of your emotions. Here, we hear what it is that the Most High is saying to us, through us, as us. So come on in, tag, share, and invite. Bring somebody in. We're going to talk about this next, right? We're going to talk about it, give you a few moments, or give me a few moments. Set this up. Blessings to your family. A household of faith. Blessings to you. Blessings to you all. So, just as always, in communion and fellowshipping with the Most High, because that's what we do. Fellowship, and we literally drink of his blood. Not figuratively, we literally, the Most High, drink of me. We're literally drinking of him. Putting this machine together. Boom, boom, boom. Come on in. I'm talking about this next. Literally, you guys, I don't know if you sensed it or not, or if you have any spiritual connection, like in real life, real spiritual connection, and you can sense things going on in the spirit. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you don't. But, you guys, it seemed like that there has been a big shift. Now, what that shift entails, or what does it mean, or what does it look like, we are truly about to find out what it looks like. But things are not the same. I'm not saying that because, oh, hey, that's the thing to say. Nah. When God uses me to say something, it's not, it's not because, hey, that's what everybody else is saying. Hey, that's what all the other prophets are saying. Nah, that don't make sense, That doesn't make sense at all. But you should be able to, it's like doors have been opened in that sense, right? And what I mean about this next, or it seemed like you are in an hour right now that some doors have been opened. And now, what that means to you personally, on a personal level, you are going to have to figure that out, like for real. Because, right now is a time where doors are literally open. Right? Doors are literally open. And they're open in a way to where, what you have been praying about and being obedient. Okay, so let me backtrack just for a minute. The doors that have been opened in this hour, they're open for those who has been obedient. Let me make sure I say that. Let me make sure I bring clarity to that for sure. The doors that have been opened in this hour, the doors that have been opened in this season, is for those people, you guys. It's for those people who have been obedient, to God. We are entering into a season where I promise you what the Lord has said, you're now going to have tangible access to it. But it's all about your obedience. Have you been planting? Have you been uprooting? Have you been obedient to God? This is not about, oh, hey, I'm going to sow into this message, or I'm going to sow into this moment. No. This moment, this hour that we are in, this door, these doors that have been opened, they are about, have you been obedient? And what do you mean by obedient? Yeah, I've been praying. Yeah, I've been worshiping. Yeah, I've been going to church. Yeah, I've been reading my Bible. Because you got a lot of disobedient people reading their Bible, going to church, listen to so-called praise and worship music. But what you'll come to realize is that these are some of the most disobedient people that you could ever find on the face of this planet. Disobedient people, because these people feel as if they are entitled. Entitlement. Well, I pray, so God, you owe me salvation. Oh, you better catch this real quick. These are some of the most disobedient people that you will ever see, because these are the people, you know, that comes to God, you know, and act like, well, I pray, well, I worship, so God has to take care of me. God has to see me. Now, to a degree, that's true, but that is also untrue, right? And it's true in the sense that when you read the scripture says, what father that has a child or that has a son would ask, you know, and that son asks his father, hey, I'm hungry. Will he give him a stone? No, he's not going to give him a stone. In fact, if his son is truly hungry, right, he's going to feed the child, right? But this hour of next, or this season, this next season, you know, that we are in right now, you guys, it is for those who have been consistently being obedient to that which God has called them to do. Not being not saying, well, your church told you to fast, so you went on a fast. Or you read this book, and this book say, make a prayer closet and rebuke, bind, and cast out every devil. Now, this season that we are in now, right? It is open season. And it's only open, you guys, it's only open for those who have been obedient right now. If you've been consistently obedient to God, and you know that you've been obedient to God. I'm not saying that you've been this perfect person and you don't drink and you don't curse and you know you don't talk back and you know you don't do all those things, you know, that people use to qualify you, you know, as a woman or as a Christian. The reality of this hour is that God is not talking to Christians in this hour. And I know that may be harsh, and I know that may be bad, and I know it may not make sense to your blessings to your family. God bless you all. But God is not talking to Christians in this hour. He's not. And I know that may sound disrespectful, and that may be disproportionate to you, you know. But obedience in this hour is very, very vitally important. And I keep hearing this in my spirit, and I'm going to keep consistently saying it. Because it's your obedience to what God is saying, not your obedience to prayer, not your obedience to worship, not the thing that you've created and using it as some kind of image to make people think and believe that you are in obedience to God. Because that's what most people use prayer for. You know, that's what people use worship for. You know, that's what people use reading the Bible for. They use it as this image that people can look at them and say, okay, that's the kind of man or woman of God I want to be, because they're always praying, they're always talking about God, they're always having dreams about God. Oh, so it's like, man, that's the kind of man or woman of God I want to be. And it's all false. It's all phony. Because now we are supposed to be examples, you know, of the living Christ or the living God. We're supposed to be examples of God in this earth realm. We are supposed to be the examples of God in this earth realm. That's what the second Christ or the last Christ was all about. The last Christ was all about, hey, I and my Father are one. It's deep. It's really deep. I and my Father are one. Because remember one of his disciples said, well, show me the Father. You know, because one of his disciples finally got it. And he was like, show me the Father. He was like, show me the Father. He said, show me the Father. And at that moment, Yahshua had to close his mouth. Anybody remember what God said through Yahshua, or what God said through Jesus that day? What did he say? What did he say? Anybody remember what he said? One of his disciples, you know, one of his apostles asked him. He said, okay, show me the Father. Show me the Father. He was serious about that. He said, if you and the Father are one, well, then show me the Father. Because something had clicked. Something had dawned on him, in him. Okay, I think or I believe I finally got what you said. And if I truly got what you said, then I want you to produce the evidence that I finally got what you said. Yes, yes, Josie, yes. That's literally what he said, Josie. Man, when he got that revelation, he was like, God revealed himself. God showed himself in the person of Yahshua, Jesus. He said, literally, he said, don't you know? Or you haven't perceived it yet? Or you haven't gotten it yet? Or you just not getting it? That I've been with you this whole time. I've been with you this whole time. The whole time. The whole time. He said, man, listen, I've been here with you the whole time. At that moment, the Father spoke on his own behalf to produce the evidence that what he had spoken into the man of God's life was true. It was accurate. See, God will produce his own evidence through you, as you. And that's deep when God starts doing that. It's deep when God starts to use the body of the temple of the vessel that he is in to produce the evidence of his existence now. See, you see, God is, see, what you fail to realize, here's this. The earth, or rather nature, right, is waiting on the sons of God to wake up. Everything in nature knows that God exists. Everything. Everything in nature knows that God exists. Whether we realize it, truly understand it at all of nature really was handed over to Adam. Really. Really. Like in real life. Not like in pretend world. But in real life. That's why all of nature is waiting for what? Waiting for the sons of God to awaken. Waiting literally for those who carry the DNA of God to awaken. Just waiting, just patiently waiting for you to get to the place where you can start operating and fully flowing in what it is that God has called you to fully flow and to fully operate in. And so the man of God was like, you know, and so Yahshua was like, man, I've been with you the whole time. I know you're looking for some kind of bolt of lightning. I know you're looking for some kind of flash, you know, but the conscious reality of it all is that I've been with you this whole time. I've been with you this whole time. And I know you want me to appear, you know, as something that you've been presented with in your mind. I know you want me to show up or appear in a crazy way that you could go to people and say, hey, there's God over there. I saw God appear as blah, 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 blah. God don't want you to do that. Oh, you better catch this. God don't want you to do that. God do not want you to be going around telling people that I appeared as this bolt of lightning. No, God wants you to go around and tell people that I appeared as Josie. Ooh, imagine that. That I appeared as Crystal. That I appeared as Sonia. Even think about that. No one can refute that. No one can refute that. Man, God showed up. Man, God talked to me. But the funny thing about it, he appeared as a person. And I knew that was God. I'm not saying that person. I'm not saying Crystal. I'm not saying Isaac. I'm not saying Sonia. I'm not saying Jennifer. I'm saying that was God. I'm saying that was God. I'm not saying that body right there with the name called Isaac. But I'm saying I talked to God. I don't care what you feel. I don't care how you saying it. I didn't talk to Isaac. I had a conversation with God. I awakened the God in me, awakened God through you. The voice of God within me became the voice that I hear through Isaac. The voice of God within me became the voice that I hear through Josie. So in turn, I've been with you. And I know it can sound real complicated. But God don't want you to go going around here like they used to in the Old Testament and be tree huggers. Loving on trees more than you love on people. Loving on animals more than you love on people. God don't want you running around here loving on nature more than you love people. Oh, you better catch this, man. That's why when people hate people, they go get them dogs. They go get them some kind of animal. They go, and I'm not saying this in a way to where that's what we're doing, but we got to really look at this thing. We got to really, really open up, and we got to really, really look at this thing. God wants to show up as Josie. God wants to show up as Crystal. God don't want to show up as some spirit that's hovering over your bed saying, listen to me. I'm about to kill you. God doesn't want to show up as some spirit that's hovering over you. God wants to show up as Sonia. Speak your language. Touch you. Why do you think that when Christ came back, that one man of God said, watch this, that one man of God said, man, if you real, now I see you standing here, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I see you standing here. But if you are who you say you are, then you know what? If he is God, I got to touch him. I got to put my hands on him. In fact, not only do I got to touch him, I got to put my hand digging them wounds. I got to touch his wounds. I got to touch his pain. I want to feel his pain. I want to touch the place where he been inflicted. Can I do that? Can we talk about your wounds? Can I dig in your wounds and you not go to complaining and screaming and hollering? And man, God said, man, I forget all that. I don't want him to raise the dead. I don't want him to do no miracles. I don't want him to buy me no house, no car. I don't even want to talk to him. I just want to feel those wounds, man. Can I feel those wounds? Can I touch those wounds? That's what Doubting Thomas said. He said, man, I want to be able to see that a person can go through all that you went through. I seen it. Man, I was praying for you, and I never prayed. I seen everything you went through, and I'm like, woo, can somebody go through that much pain, that much struggle, that much hurt, and still make it, and still come out? Because you look like you ain't been through nothing, so I gotta see if your pains and your struggle were real. You look like you ain't been through nothing at the level that you are at now, so I gotta touch and see if the pains and the struggles. I think you were lying. I don't even think it was real, man. You wasn't really crucified. You wasn't really raped. You wasn't really molested. You wasn't really abused. You wasn't. You playing. You ain't never been to prison. You lying to us, dude. And there's no way in the world that you ever was a stripper. I can't believe that. Ain't no way. You go tell that to somebody else. Ain't no way. That boy produced evidence. Christ produced evidence. Christ said, you know what? You show right. I be forgetting that sometimes, that, you know, when God brings you through, you show right. You show right. Let me produce this evidence. He said, here, look, here's the evidence. Here, you wanted the evidence. Here it is. Here. You don't think that I went through that? You don't think I struggled through that? You don't think this happened to me, that happened to me? Here, let me produce evidence. Here, let me show you. When Thomas got that evidence, that's all he needed. He was like, yo, I'm in. Yo, I'm in. When he got that evidence, he's like, yo, I'm in. He was in. Because the reality of it is that in this world, you're going to have trials. You're going to have tribulations. You're going to struggle. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. Can I overcome it? And not look like what I've been like, what I've been through. Can I overcome it? See, we got that story about Thomas, and it's a major story. It shows us that not everybody is looking for God to part a Red Sea. It shows us that not all of us are looking for God to raise the dead. That story shows us that not everybody. There are some people who are in your life who talking about you, who ridiculing you, who putting you down, but they're there for a purpose. They're there to see just how strong your God is. You better catch this. They're really there to see just how strong your God. Okay, you say you serve God, so I'm finna put your bleepity bleep through hell. And you don't realize that they want to serve your God. But they got to test you. They got to try you. They got to put you through something just to see if you could come out with these wounds and still talk about God like you talked about him from day one. And not too many people overcome that. Not too many people make it through that. They don't. They don't. Not too many people make it through that. They don't, y'all. You don't realize that God will allow the devil or allow the enemy to put somebody in your life all because you are the example of God. All because you are the example of God. You're the example of God. You are the expression of God. You are the image of God. Cry, wipe your tears, boo-hoo, mourn, do all that. But at the end of the day, you crying out to God when you are the example of God. You are. You're the example. Pray until you black and blue in the face. Get mad, kick, scream. But at the end of the day, you're the example of God. You are. Well, God, well, why, why? And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You guys, let me tell you something. All these people talking about what you can't say to God, what you can't say to God. It's okay. Sometimes, man, I gotta laugh at God, man, just to keep from screaming. Let me say this again. Sometimes I gotta laugh at God, just to keep from screaming. Let me say this again. Blessings to your family. I'll see you, Apostle. Sometimes I gotta laugh and in real life, because the people that he sends sometimes to watch your life or to watch his life, they are dangerous. God ain't allowing, regular people to watch your life. God is allowing dangerous, hurtful, harmful people to watch your life. People who have no problems with cursing you out, people who have no problems with stealing from you. Man, I've had so many people. Let me tell you something. People that God have sent in my life, I've had so many people steal from me, rob me, and then come back and ask for prayer and don't even ask for forgiveness. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm thinking to God, well, God, you gonna make them apologize to me or something? You gonna make them give me something? I mean, come on, God, I gotta pray for them. You're not gonna make me tell them about themselves. I'm telling you, yo, when God makes you the example of God in this realm, in this paradigm, you be sitting back like, God, come on, this can't be right, man. This can't be right. You cannot want me to sit up here and keep accepting these people back into my life that I know that they have been through so much trauma, that they've been through so much hurt, that they gonna hurt me, that they gonna hurt me, they gonna abuse me, that they gonna crucify me. They gonna accuse me of having demons. And they got demons. I'm talking about legit, real, bona fide, certified demons. But accuse me of having demons. That's you, man. You don't know how. And everybody call it narcissistic. Man, throw that word in the trash. Why? Because you are the example of God in this realm. You are. You could sit here and say, I'm going to cut this person off. I'm going to cut that person off. You've ever wondered how and why you've cut certain people out your life, but they'll show up in a different form? They'll show up in a child. You can't cut your child off. That same energy will show. This is why I say, be careful who you cut out your life. Because you never know that that's the energy that was sent into your life to watch your life so that you could become the example of God to that energy, to that force, to that being, to that individual. And if you don't watch it, you'll cut them off and that energy will show up in your child. Show up in a dog. You go get a dog, that dog destroy your whole house, that dog destroy your whole yard, bite people. And you be trying to figure out what the heck. That energy will show up as your boss on your job. And why I tell people, you can't be listening to these people who have no spiritual insight, who have no spiritual wisdom, who have no spiritual understanding, who have no spiritual revelation at all. You are the example of God in this earth realm. You are. Not your pastor, not your preacher, not none of them people. You are. You're the example of God. You. That's why God or Yahshua can sympathize with us. Oh yeah, I've been through that, done that. Well, why you didn't cut Judas off? If you would have cut Judas off, he wouldn't have killed you. Because I needed Judas to kill me. Yeah. Why you didn't cut Judas off? Because I needed Judas to kill me. Think about that, man. That man say, I chose 12 of y'all. And one of y'all a devil. I chose 12 of y'all, and one of y'all a devil. One of y'all a demon, a devil. But I still chose you. I still need you. I need you. I know these some hard truths. Because you got 75% of maybe 95% of your up and coming preachers and pastors and teachers and evangelists, you know, that all says the same things. They all make the same statements. Cut them off, cut them off, cut them off, cut them off, cut them off. Why? When you are supposed to be an example of God. Oh, they pulling me down. Oh, they holding me back. How can anybody hold God back? Y'all kill me with that crazy crap. How can a muscle grow without resistance? I don't get it. Unless you fabricate it and you just grow. How can anything grow without resistance? You don't realize that. That's why these things be sounding dumb. Oh, I couldn't grow because of blah, blah, blah. But you don't realize it is that blah, blah, blah is the one made you strong. That bleeped up baby daddy, that bleeped up baby mama, that bleeped up job, that bleeped up boss. Always coming in there. Oh, you ain't do this right. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Every day they come in there, they found something. You don't realize that they made you the strongest boss ever. You don't even realize that. You go to a gym. You don't go to a gym and look for the easiest thing. Well, tell you the truth, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. See, Terrell, that's the craziest part about it. Time is no existence when it comes to growth. Time doesn't exist when it comes to growth. Now, I know I'm saying strange things. I'm saying upside things, backwards things, and I get it. And that's okay. That's what the apostolic is all about. Time doesn't exist when it comes to growth. When it comes to growth, I remember when I first got out of prison some many years ago, and God put me with the most horrible, hateful and disrespectful white woman, and I say white woman, on the face of the planet, at least in my expectancy, in my eyesight. And then he tell me, serve her. What you mean, serve her? Am I a slave? God will tell you to do some stuff, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He serve her. I did have her job. This woman sat in the office eating cookies, watching TV, smoking. Back then, you could smoke inside the building. Hey, back then, you know, when I was first coming out, you could smoke in the building, you could drink. You the boss. And I did 75% of her job. And I could have complained, but the problem is that God gave me that position, not that white lady. And forgive me for saying it like that. I say that for dramatic effects to let you know that God uses my grammar. He's not going to use somebody else's grammar. He's using my grammar. He's using my grammar, right? And she was prejudiced, y'all. She was prejudiced. She was prejudiced, and she let me know, and it was okay back then, y'all. For me, you know, it was okay for me. It was okay for you to know that they were prejudiced. I'm glad I knew, and she told me she was prejudiced. I'm glad I knew, because today prejudiced people don't matter to me. Think about that, yo. Prejudiced people don't matter to me. People be like, you taking that? And it's because the training that God put me through. The training, the abuse, the scandals, the lies that he put me through. And he used all that, y'all, to bring you up in a way to where when you come out of this room, when he pulls you out, or when he calls you to the next thing, you're strong. And you don't even know you're strong. Because sometimes you forget, I'm built for this. He got to bring you back to something to show you that you are built for this, that you are designed for this. He got to show you you're not weak, you're strong. And I got to bring you through something to show you how strong you are. Huh? I'm not trying to use this thing to kill, steal, and destroy, or break you, or ruin you. I'm using this thing to bring me out of you, to bring myself out of you. Yeah. But we got these old watered down preachers. We got these old watered down preachers. These old lukewarm ministers. Oh, these prophets. Oh, you got to cut her out. You got to cut him out. Man, see, when you sit under somebody lukewarm, you got to do a bazillion things. You got to pray and fast for 40 days and 40 nights. Morning.
My name's Mike. I'm with the city of Conroe.
Oh yeah, what you doing today?
I'm just checking grease traps. I didn't see one back there.
Grease? I ain't got no grease in here.
So y'all don't have anyone come pump out anything?
Yeah, we don't have no grease in here.
Alrighty.
And we don't got no
Some
grease.
subways have it. So
They do?
yeah, and
Well,
it's
why would
like
they have it? A grease trap?
just for anything. It's for anything that goes down the drain before it goes to this.
Did you find one?
I didn't see one. So you don't, and no one comes and pumps out like a little one in here. All right.
No, because ain't no.
I got you. Well, have a good day.
All right. Yeah, we don't cook nothing in here.
I got you.
Everything comes already cooked.
Right, that's how they do it.
We just slice it.
There you go.
All right, boss. Be safe, man. Stay dry. You know, so you're the example. You are. You gotta stop. You gotta stop sitting under these people who telling you gotta cut this person off. You gotta cut that person off, and then you turn right around in your prayer and say, "God, use me. God, use me." He using you. He been using you. But you got with a whole new pastor. You got with a whole new preacher. You got with a whole new evangelist. You got with a whole new prophet, and that prophet told you, cut. You're a cut artist now. So how God gonna use you if you're a cut artist? You become a whole cut artist. Cut. But you prayed, use me. How can you pray, God, use me? And when he start using you, you go off into another prayer where I feel like this man using me. Or I feel like that. You don't feel like he using you? Yeah, it do feel like that. It do feel like that. It's like, man. And then you go off into prayer again. God, use me. God, use me. And then God have to remind you. He have to remind you, baby, didn't you tell me to make you strong? Didn't you tell me to, I don't, see, God don't have genetically modified people, genetically modified believers. See, you are not genetically modified. You're not the byproduct of some laboratory. See, you're not designed and fabricated in some laboratory, chemical here. Let me add the chemical love. Let me add the chemical sadness. Let me add the chemical happiness. And boom, now we have a genetically modified and genetically engineered apple. And the craziest part about it is that the genetically modified apple looks just as good or even better than the real thing. See, people don't want the real thing because the real thing, it don't last as long as the genetically modified, the genetically engineered. The problem is that when you eat the genetically modified, the genetically engineered, it doesn't have as much nutritional value and content as the real deal. See, the real deal, when you eat that, it's rough. It may not even be red. Your genetically modified apple looks beautiful. Here's your pastor or your prophet who walks around in the nicest clothes, the nicest hat, the nicest shoes, drives the nicest car, and you eat from that cat every day. Ain't got no nutritional content, ain't got no nutritional value. You just as broke down that you ever been. And so you design, you modify, you engineer your life to make it look just as good as his life or her life. And see, when you come here to eat from me, I'm a regular person. I'm a regular man. You see me? I'm working for a living. Look, I drive a car that the saints paid for. You hear me? You better catch that in the spirit. And it ain't no Mercedes Benz. Hey, because somebody keep putting sugar in my tank, in my cars that I own. But can't at all. I remember one time saying, y'all remember we had 5 cars. Taking people to work, dropping them off, hospital, school. I'm talking about, man, wrong person came in there and burnt it all down. Shit. God said, I got you. We're going to rebuild it. Okay. Oh, all right. I mean, can we just not let these people in here no more? Huh? Wait, what? Wait, what? Son, this is a hospital. You can't tell me we not letting sick people in here. What's wrong with you? I said, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting because I'm here. I'm sick. We transparent. We transparent. I'm here. I'm sorry. I forgot. I'll tear a car up in a moment. I'll tear a house up. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sick too. I'm sick too. My bad. Because if this is not a hospital for the sick people, then then I can't be here. I'll forget who I am and choke somebody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, when God reminds you, it's like, it's very humbling and humiliating when God reminds you you sick too. I told God, I'm not letting nobody back in here that I know without a shadow of doubt that they're going to tear this thing down at any given moment. He said, then I'm not building it then. He said, I'm not building it. I said, wait, what you mean? I said, wait, what you mean? This is kingdom. This is for broke people. This is for messed up people. This is for abused people. This is for lost people. They need time to sit and chill and to watch somebody who say God is operating and functioning and flowing through them. You can't talk about, when you talk about God, you talk about God in the third person. You talk about God in the trees and God of the bushes. Well, he ain't in you. Oh, no, bro, he ain't in me. He just show up when I go to church. Well, God, that just only show up when you go to church. I don't want that God. I don't want that God because the problem is I need God outside the church. I need God at the buffet. I need God when I'm in the bathroom. I need God when I'm researching the internet, because I might run up on some porn or something, and I'm gonna have them make me strong, to not get addicted to it. Y'all don't get that. Let me stop talking. I might run up on some female, and she may give me the eye. She may give me the eye, and she may give me that half a smile, and boom, I'm gone. Poof. Machiavelli. Disappear. Transparency. You can go in your prayer closet and pray and worship all damn day long. Ain't no demon in your prayer closet. You say, God makes me strong in my prayer closet. Ain't no resistance in your prayer closet. Somebody gonna catch that. Somebody gonna really catch that. Someone is going to really catch that. The other day, I tried to go to God and say, God, I'm a sinner and I apologize, blah, blah, blah. God acted as if I didn't come to him and repent. And let me clarify what I mean by that. Now, this for me. Now, this part is for me. God acted as if I did not. He acted as if he, because there's when God is doing his thing with you, that it's personal. Can't nobody tell you what your hair is. Can I say that? Can't nobody tell you what your hair is, or your source of power, or what it is. It may be numbers, it may be money, it may be food, it may be clothes, it may be anything. No, that's personal. Right? You know when you know. And you know when you do something that you know that God don't like, but he has to forgive you anyway. Because that's the power of his blood. See, the power of his blood is so powerful. See, the power of his blood is so powerful that God could be mad at you, pissed off at you, but the power is in the blood. It's too late. He already put the power in the blood. He was already crucified. You were already predestined. The power is in the blood. And God acted, as if, that was rubbish to him. He acted as if that was meaningless to him. Because the power's in the blood. My sin or my wrongdoing or my act of defiance is not more powerful than his blood. That's why when he told, when one of his apostles asked him, how many times should I forgive my brother? We all have those questions. We all have those questions. Well, how many times shall I forgive my brother? We forget. See, fake apostles, fake prophets, past teachers, they make you forget the scriptures. They make you forget whole scriptures. They make you forget scriptures. They make you forget what you know. Cut them off. And the man of God was kind of confused. He was like, man. He was like, okay, so you saying, okay, there's got to be a limit to my forgiveness. The man of God literally said, there's got to be a limit to my forgiveness. So he said, okay, what's that limit? How many times should I forgive my brother? Well, if you ever had an actual brother before, I'm talking about like a real brother, blood brother. How many times you forgave your brother? I'm talking about like for real. I'm talking about you could be mad at them. You could be pissed off at them. You can limit them to certain things, certain events, certain people, certain items. But how many times you forgave them? And God said, listen, I'm putting a power and an authority on your life where you're going to have the ability to forgive your brother 70 times 77, or however, every time, basically. He said, I'm putting something on the inside of you that though you hate it, though you dislike it, but it has the power to make you forgive them. Well, eventually they're going to abuse that. No, because that blood is so powerful, even though it forgives, it will also break you down. That blood is dangerous. That's why you don't have to worry about, you don't have to cut people out. You don't have to worry about none of that. When you are operating as a kingdom citizen under the power and the authority of the covenant of the blood, you don't have to worry about none of that, yo. You got to worry about none of that. People who worry about that kind of stuff, then they don't know the power of the blood. People who worry about demons, people who worry about warlocks, witches, writing books about them, they don't know the power of the blood. See, the blood has the power. The blood circulates all throughout your system, and you don't know nothing about your blood. Not really. See, your blood that's right now going through these veins. That's why when they say you in the veins, that's why when they say you're in the vein, you really don't know nothing about that blood going through your vein, but you know that when a cut comes, boom. When a cut comes, that blood comes down and seals that bad boy up. It may turn a different color, but that DNA shows up. That blood shows up. You don't tell that blood to show up. It just shows up. It just do what it's supposed to do. Right now, they got nanotechnology. They program that technology. This is what I want you to do. Our blood is programmed automatically. That blood is programmed to do what it's supposed to do. But if you walk around here talking about, oh, they getting on my nerves, then you need to go back, sit down, and see where you went wrong, where you are in disobedience. And that's deep. You need to go back, sit down, and see where you are in disobedience. You need to go back, because people talk about me all the time. Listen, people that I've raised up in the ministry, supported in the ministry, in real life, call me a cult. And that's okay. And won't support. And that's okay. I don't have any ill feelings towards any of them. They'll call me today, blah, blah, blah. Amen to God, blah, blah, blah. I know, blah, 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 blah. And boom, helping them. Why? Because that's how God works his people out. He allows you to grow through real trauma, real issues, real things, and then brings you back through them again so that he can remind you how strong you are. You are not stronger when you came out than you went in. You are not stronger when you came out than when you went in. You are already that strong when you went in. This situation just revealed it, manifested it. God manifests a race to show you what you already are, who you already are. He will manifest a race to show you that you are a winner, that you are an overcomer. It's not that the situation made you strong. It's that it was already in you. That thing that you went through just manifested it. It revealed it. It pulled it out. It showed you. But you got to believe it. You have to accept it. And people are around here, I don't want to be strong no more, God. I don't want to be one of your strongest warriors. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to be one of your strongest warriors no more, God. Please, 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 God. Now, we're not saying that you should just go find you some sinners and hang out with them. That makes no sense. Now, even though Christ, he went and found who he found, and went and chose who houses, that he was going to hang out in. But he didn't indulge in their mindset. He may indulge in their liquor. He may indulge in their parties, but he didn't indulge in their mindset. That's a big difference. And I don't know how to really break that down yet. He may indulge in what they were doing, but he didn't indulge in their mindset about it. Listen, I love you, but I'm going to get out of here. And once again, I need you. I need each and every last one of you. Like the God made the man of God tell me that, listen, you come up with 100K, we're going to sign this over to you. 100K. We're going to sign this over to you. Once it's signed over to us, 100K is ours. And we can go about the next project. And I won't have to work 100 hours a day. Crystal, tell them, sun up, sun down, go to work, chill for a moment, then have to go back. Better tell them. God is about to transition some things. He's about to open some doors. But these opportunities that he's opening up is for us to solidify this thing, this example of God's operation, this example of what God is doing. Listen, Jesus loves you, men and women of God, and so do I.